You know, there's a lot of people looking for the best 5.56 or 223 home defense round. In reality, I don't think there is one, at least yet. The problem with it is it's just too damn raging fast, and the rounds that people are picking for home defense are designed to hit organic material. They just blow right through walls, and I got 2 videos proving that. You can check those out if you want down in the description box so you can follow up with what I'm talking about. But people still want to claim that the 223 is highly prone to tumbling and fragmenting upon impact. And yeah, it does when it hits an organic material. The way the rounds work is when they hit a non-man-made or brittle material like a wall, at least comparatively to a bullet moving at 2,500 feet per second, is that it hits this organic material and its kinetic energy is lost because it's absorbed into the liquid, sinew, fluid of the object. There's also a thing called hydrostatic shock, which also helps absorb the energy from the round, and then it fragments or tumbles upon impact and is slowed down greatly and stopped. But can you guarantee that you're going to hit that object every time? Are you going to guarantee that a round isn't going to leave your home and fly through the wall and hit your neighbor while he's in the shower? Can you guarantee that? Some people think that they can. They claim that there's ammo out there that can do it, and one of them that's going around the internet right now is the Hornady Super Performance Varmint. This is a 53 grain VMAX. Today we'll be testing it on my box of truth in about 3 different tests. Just to let you guys know, I am giving these rounds the benefit of the doubt. I am shooting 30 feet away, which is a giant ass room in a house situation. I am using 5/8 inch thick drywall, which is like industrial drywall. And I'm using 1/2 inch wafer board, which is like, you know, very commonly used as the outer shell of a house before they put actual siding on it. And so I'm trying to give these rounds as much benefit of the doubt. I'm using a carbine AR-15, which would be most commonly picked for home defense or any kind of defense. So I just want to share that, guys, with you before we get to the test. One of the things that I think attracts people to this round is that it has a ballistic tip to it. And a huge misconception about ballistic tipped ammunition is that they think it's guaranteed maximum expansion, so there won't be as much possibility of over penetration when it comes to a self-defense or home defense situation, and that can be really misleading at times. The first test is to mimic an interior wall of a home. I've taken 2 pieces of drywall and spaced them roughly 4 inches apart. Then I've taken a piece of wafer board and spaced it about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall to mimic an exterior shell. Behind that is a 1-gallon jug of water to catch any bullet over penetration and also to show any devastation if there is any danger to the over penetration remnants of the round. Alright, here's test 1, mimicking just the standard interior of the wall. The entry hole of the first part of the wall. Here's your exit hole on the back. Here's the second panel right here. There's your exit hole, so it definitely looks like the round expanded and tumbled. Here's your entry on the board. Definitely some tumbling. Blew right through it. Took out the water jug. Test 2 is an over penetration test. It's actually to see how far the round can travel through multiple barriers and also to see what kind of damages it can inflict on an object afterwards. I've taken 6 pieces of wafer board and placed them approximately 2 inches apart and a gallon of water 6 inches behind them. Alright, here we are, the six wafer board. Bullet traveled all the way through, hit the milk jug, definitely hit it, caused some damage to the jug, but didn't decimate it like the other jug. I'm not finding any fragments of the bullet. Well, you can see little bits and pieces in there, but nothing crazy. But definitely still dangerous. That still could hurt somebody. The third and final test is basically to see how devastating the round can be to an organic object. I got a 1-gallon jug of water. I'm gonna shoot it and if there's any over penetration, I have a piece of drywall behind it to catch the round and see how far it actually can go. Here's the milk jug alone going against the Hornady Superformance VMAX. Blew right through the jug, passed through the jug a little low. Went into the board. You can see the jacket in there still. Did it go through the board? It did not. There is a little bit of warping. You can see the warping right there. But it did not go through. But it did over penetrate. There's the lead core in there. And the copper jacket. So still, if you were to shoot somebody, it would still pass through their body very likely if it was a soft enough area. But if you hit them dead center, it'd probably stop. But still not the greatest thing for home defense. Oh, I know people are gonna be mashing on their keyboards telling me how wrong I am and how ridiculous this test is. Probably even people will probably tell me, congratulations, you proved that you can shoot through a board. And they're not gonna even get the point of my video. But in conclusion, on this specific ammunition, Hornady's Superformance Varmint 53 grain VMAX, if you can guarantee you can hit your threat in your home 100%, no doubt in your mind, then sure, this would make a good home defense round. But being a reasonable and logical human being that I am, I'm not willing to take that risk. It's still something that's dangerous, something that I would not want to risk for innocent bystanders around me in my home, in rooms of my home, or outside my home. So it got me thinking, if there was a way to take a 40 grain, get a lighter, less mass projectile, VMAX or ballistic tipped round, and actually put it in an underloaded cartridge that's running at about 1800 feet per second, that's something I would want to see and see how that behaves against the box of truth. Maybe even some ballistics gel if I could get a hold of some. Because what I have concluded in this test is that this varmint round, it says their rated muzzle velocity is 3,465 feet per second, and it loses about 1.1 at 100 yards. So it's still cruising at damn near 3,000 feet per second at 100 yards. That's raging fast. That's what this is designed for, is long range shooting, or not long range, but long range related to shooting in a room, to be able to travel 100 yards or more and still keep kinetic energy to be lethal upon impact. You don't need that when you're in a 30-foot room. So if you could take a lighter grain bullet in an underloaded cartridge and drop it to less than 1,800 feet per second, that's something I'd like to test against the box of truth. And that round could possibly make me think that 5.56 or 2.23 could be a home defense round. Other than that, that's the end of my video. You guys take care, be safe, and I'll catch you later. If you're still watching this, you might want to subscribe to my channel. Also, check out some of my other videos. And if you want to show a little bit of support, hit that like or dislike. I'd really appreciate it.